Yeah, coming into this week, as I'm looking at the schedule, I'm seeing 3 teams that are in must-win, season-saving mode. One of them is the Jacksonville Jaguars, hosting the Minnesota Vikings. They cannot fall to 4-7. If they do, they are done. They've had their issues with injuries in the offensive line, but other than that, not sure what's going on there in Jacksonville. Something tells me they'll find a way to win this game as Minnesota spends its second week in Florida, so I hope they're enjoying the beach weather over there. But 1-4 are the Jaguars at home. That's right, 1-4. I can't believe that. I myself like the Jags. Do you see Minnesota bouncing back from the loss to Tampa Bay from last week?
I don't know. Minnesota's one of those teams this year that you don't know what you're getting from week to week. They look great one week. Adrian Peterson will run for 200 yards, and the next week you don't even see highlights of them on TV because nothing spectacular happened. But I think
I agree.
Jacksonville looks so bad this year.
They do.
That with them being in the same boat as Chicago, you know that they're going to be fired up. And Jacksonville is pretty much out of it. I mean, for as bad as the AFC is, I still don't think that they hold a chance in the wild card.
Second team that I have in a must-win mode is the San Diego Chargers. Sunday night game, Chargers-Colts. Must-win for the Chargers. They cannot afford to fall to 4-7, even though they are in the awful AFC West division. Although the Broncos are starting to pick up some head of steam here. This is a place where San Diego's really had Indianapolis' number. Whenever the Colts have gone to San Diego, or even last year's case where the Chargers took out the Colts in the RCA Dome. I have the Chargers winning this game. I just think it is a must-win. They find a way to continue to own the Colts, but on the other hand, Grasso, the Colts are looking pretty darn good. They get this win here. Their schedule is pretty easy the rest of the way out.
Yeah, they're finally starting to catch their stride. I think it's pretty much impossible for them to catch the Titans, just because the separation that the Titans have created, and I don't see them losing too many games. And San Diego just looks not the same team anymore.
As a Super Bowl contender, Indianapolis?
Possibly. They aren't there yet, I don't think. But if you'd asked me 3-4 weeks ago, I'd have told you definitely not. And they just look a little bit more impressive every week. And
right.
They beat Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago, who I've talked about earlier in the season as a possible Super Bowl contender. So I think if they continue to improve and get a little more, I'll go back to that argument everybody made about Peyton Manning missing the preseason and not having his rhythm down with everybody. And I guess it just took 8 or 9 weeks really for it to everything get it to fall into place. Marvin Harrison's starting to come around a little bit, even though he's not what he used to be. And I just see that team pretty much win a couple more games, get over 500 basically is all you got to do. Just stumble into the playoffs in the AFC as a wild card. And in the last couple of years, or 2 out of the last 3 years, all you got to do is make the playoffs and you can be a Super Bowl contender. So, yeah, I definitely see them that way.
All right, a couple more games here as we finish up here on the morning sound off. We got our man Grasso with us on the line. We are live on NoLife.com. Your boys go to Arizona. The Cardinals are fantastic at home, but the Giants' defense and the running game has been one of the best combinations for a team to have throughout this season. I'd like to get your thoughts, if you can step out of the Giants, take your Giants hat off. Does this Arizona offense present troubles to the New York Giants, or is that defense just too good there in New York? Because people will question, they'll start to say, okay, look, Kurt Warner, MVP season, he'll go out there and he'll throw all over the Giants defense, but something that I've noticed that Tom Coughlin does best, or maybe if not best, pretty darn close, he gets his teams ready for big games on the road.
Yeah, it's been since, week 3 of last season. We've lost one road game, which I regret to inform you. I traveled all the way to Cleveland on a cold Monday night to watch. But, yeah, I was watching ESPN earlier today, and they compared the two offenses as far as points per drive, touchdowns per drive, and overall something else per drive. And they were within hundredths of a point of each other in the 3 categories, New York leading one and Arizona leading the other 2. And the team that was leading between the 2 were the best in the NFL. So you got arguably the best 2 offenses in the NFL squaring off against each other. And I don't really remember hearing too much about Arizona's defense at all this season. So I think head-to-head, you're going to put those offenses against each other. And I think that our defense is going to prevail. And that, I mean, I don't know. Plus, we got the ghost of Super Bowl 42. We're going back into that dome. It's going to bring a lot of memories back. Here we go. I just rewound my DVR. Points per drive. New York Giants 2.63 leads the NFL. 2.51 for Arizona. Touchdown percentage per drive. Arizona leads at 28.7 to 28.6. Arizona leads the NFL. Drive success percentage 74.8 for Arizona. 74.7 for the Giants. Arizona leading the NFL. That's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, should be a good one. Too bad that Carolina and Atlanta are taking the national stage as the NFL has shifted that one to a 4:15 kickoff. I don't think that we're going to get the game that everybody expects to get when you see Carolina and Atlanta on Fox. It'll be a good game, but something about the NFC South type of games don't live up to expectations.
That takes me back to what you were saying earlier. I was going to make a comment. It's not as much of a must-win. I think their record is going to help them out, maybe making a charge at the wild card. But Atlanta pretty much partially controls their destiny this week against Carolina. I think they're 2 games back in the NFC South.
Yeah, they're at 6-4 and 8-2, and I think an Atlanta loss here would be huge to their psyche. Back-to-back losses at home, I think that does a lot to a young team like that. That's where you could start to see the unraveling of a young team in the Falcons if they can't get a win against Carolina at home.
Atlanta wins that game. It puts them a game back. Carolina's got a couple tough games down the stretch. I think they still have to play Tampa again.
Right.
And go into the Meadowlands on Week 16. Atlanta wins that game. They have a decent chance of winning the South. So I don't think it'll be as good as the Giants-Cardinals game, but as far as it being on TV, I really do think that it'll still be a good game for people to watch.
And keep in mind, look, the last 3 years in the NFC South, the division champ has finished last the year before, so this is Atlanta's year. I think this week is their season on the line. I don't see them having a chance to win the division if they lose this week. However, if they win, like you said, they're right in the driver's seat, a game back of Carolina, and anything can happen then. Heck, I don't even know if they have a chance for a wild card if they lose this week. I just think it'll be that much effect on that young team. Final game here as we bring you our end-zone coverage of the NFL in the morning. Sound possibly the game of the week. Miami hosting New England. It's been a long time since the Fins have hosted a game with so much at stake. Look, if the Jets lose at Tennessee, which we all know is possible, Tennessee undefeated right now, so it's definitely something that could happen. And the winner of this game between the Patriots and Dolphins all of a sudden is in first place tie with the New York Jets. Aggressive, the AFC East is looking pretty darn impressive. No